Welcome back to Succulents in the City. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Today's superstar is a plant I love so much. I have two of them, Titanopsis Calcarea. So I have two. They look really different, right? But they always look like this. It is the fall. It is, what's today? Today's October 13th. And so this is growing season and flowering season for Titanopsis Calcarea. I was trying to film this while this beautiful flower was open, but I didn't make it in time. So, as I pretty much just told you, this guy is a fall and spring grower. This guy is growing too. This is a mesem, or a mimicry plant. Originally it comes from South Africa, and they try to mimic rocks. So these guys, the way I think of them is that they are lazy. They do not want to grow when it's too hot in the summer, and they do not want to grow when it's too cold in the winter. They want to grow when the temperature is just right, so meaning fall and spring. And you could see all the new growth. These little warty, bumpy things, they help with the camouflage and assisting it to look like rocks, but also it's for like water droplets. It's for water droplets to hold on to, because these, as with all succulent and cactus, they are drought-resistant plants. This is a good beginner mesem to start with. Mesems can be pretty difficult to grow, especially when you start talking about lithops and split rocks and conophytums. This one is a little bit more forgiving. This is also readily available. Both of these guys are from the Home Depot. I've bought them at different times. They actually both looked like this. This one was always a lot more full, and it seems to have more growing points. Right, you could see the mesems, they grow with two opposite pairs of leaves. So this always was full like this, and this was always sparse like this. But it's growing, something's coming there, and something's coming there. So I can't tell if that's going to be a flower or a leaf. So hard to focus there. This looks like it's a leaf. There's something else there too. So whatever, it's going to be a surprise. So now, one of the reasons why I say this is easy to grow is because the best way to find out if it needs water is to just go shake its hand. Give it a little squish. I know these guys don't need water. This got water, I think, 2 days ago, and this got water last week. I am a touchy-feely plant person. I am a big proponent of touching your plants and getting to know what they feel like, because this is how you can tell if your plant needs water or if there's a problem. If the leaves of your plant are super flexible, that means your plant needs water. But you can only know how flexible it is if you keep touching it, because certain plants are more flexible than others. Also, if you water your plant and the leaf is still soft, it's the water pressure inside the leaf is called turgor pressure. So when the leaf is hard, it has a lot of turgor pressure. When it does not have turgor pressure and you've just watered it, that's a sign that you need to check and see if the roots are rotten. The one thing that can be confusing to some people about Titanopsis is that it has a summer dormancy. Like I said, mesems are lazy. They don't grow when it's too hot or too cold. So they go dormant in the summer. And when they're dormant, they don't need a lot of water. With my conditions, I check it every month or month and a half. That depends on if it rains, if it's humid, if I have the air conditioner on. But be careful watering in the summer. The best way to check and see if a plant needs water, I check a bunch of ways. I check the leaf, and then I do this. You take a clean chopstick, put it in the plant for a little while, let it sit, and then you see, I told you I just watered this guy a couple days ago. But as we can see, and as I knew, it's wet. The chopstick is wet. It comes out with soil on it. If it comes out clean and dry, that means your plant is dry and it could use a drink. But also, just give it the turgor pressure test, the little touchy-feely test. Now, when you buy any cactus or succulent, especially a mesem, meaning this, living stones, Titanopsis, anything, it is important before your first watering that you have to change the soil. I bought a bunch of plants in the Home Depot because my Home Depot is moving. They had a sale. But anyway, this is the soil that it's planted in the Home Depot. This is a nice crested Peruvian apple cereus. So this is all peat. This is a death sentence. There's no perlite, there's no drainage, nothing. You have to change the soil. With this, usually, you could crumble it and pick it off gently like this. It takes a while. It's not easy to do over the phone. But if you just kind of like mush it gently, a lot of it will come off. You can also go in there with a brush or chopsticks. Some people spray it with water. I don't really do that. I've never tried. I'm always paranoid of rot because especially when you're growing inside, rot is very likely when you're talking about these types of plants. But this I need to work on more. I just wanted to show you. See, I don't even see one piece of perlite in there. This is like all peat moss. So there's no drainage in that at all. That's a death sentence. I wonder how they get these guys to live like this and to grow so nicely. But this guy's going to get planted probably later. One thing I want to tell you about these guys, and this is actually good for all cactus and succulents, is that after you repot it, do not water it for about a week. Even as careful as you are, it doesn't matter. You just have to assume that the roots are going to get damaged. There will be some root damage, and you could get an infection in the roots if you water it too quickly. So you give it about a week to sit, and everything will heal, and then you water it. But anyway, yeah, you need to change the soil. I use with these guys 70% perlite and 30% either cactus and succulent mix from the Home Depot or orchid mix. I'm going to tell you, I prefer the orchid mix to the cactus mix. Orchid mix is bark, and I find it has more drainage, and I find that if I use orchid mix and perlite, lesser of a chance than it rotting than if I use perlite with cactus mix. The cactus mix, I believe, is a little bit more dense. And I think we've covered this beautiful Titanopsis. And look, he's waking up to say hello. I love these flowers. Very daisy-like a little dandelion. So cute. But anyway, so there we go. Titanopsis Calcarea. Easy, relatively forgiving mesem. That's a great way to start learning and collecting these plants. Go out and get one. Check Home Depot. They have a bunch of them all the time. See you on the next one. Thank you again for sharing your time with me.